Hello and welcome to another episode of Bangladesh Today. Recently, the Bangladesh cricket team had suddenly pulled out from their proposed tour to Pakistan in wake of security fears. The Bangladesh Cricket Board is unlikely to change its mind despite pressure from the Pakistan Cricket Board, given the current security situation in Pakistan. The January series would have been the first international series in Pakistan since the 2009 attack on the Sri Lankan team bus.
It was in March 2012 when the Bangladesh Cricket Board had first expressed its willingness to tour Pakistan and was to become the first international side to tour Pakistan since the 2009 terrorist attack in Lahore, when 6 members of the Sri Lanka squad were injured after gunmen attacked the team's bus. 8 Pakistani policemen and civilians were killed. Pakistan Cricket Board Chief Mohammad Zaka Ashraf said he was astonished at Bangladesh's security fears, claiming that the visiting Bangladeshi officials were earlier satisfied with the arrangements made at the match venues.
मैं तो हैरान हूँ कि सिक्योरिटी कंसर्न्स हमें पाकिस्तान में तो नहीं महसूस हो रहा है, इनको अपने अपने घर में ज़्यादा महसूस होता है। बांग्लादेश जो है वो तो बस ऐसे ही घबरा गए हैं। वहाँ पर भी आप देखें ना, हर मुल्क में लोग होते हैं जो मुख्तलिफ लोगों के अपने अपने ख्यालात होते हैं। अब बांग्लादेश की टीम आने के लिए तैयार थी, बांग्लादेश की सिक्योरिटी टीम पाकिस्तान आई, उन्होंने देखा, असेस किया और जो उनको हमारी वफाकी हुकूमत ने, पंजाब हुकूमत ने, सिंध हुकूमत ने जो उनको एक प्रैक्टिकल डेमोस्ट्रेशन दी, उससे वो बहुत सेटिस्फाइड थे और बहुत ही अच्छी एक सिक्योरिटी का उन्होंने प्लान दिया। जब वो गए हैं और उनकी जो रिपोर्ट है उसमें उन्होंने सब ने अप्रिशिएट किया, जी इतनी इससे बेहतर नहीं हो सकती जो पाकिस्तान की पुलिस और इन्होंने दिए। और उन्होंने कहा जी वी फील के उन्होंने लाहौर और इनको कहा जी खेला जा सकता है, कोई मसला नहीं। और बांग्लादेश की टीम आनी भी चाहती थी। अब उनके मुल्क के अपने कोई इंटरनल पॉलिटिकल रीजंस हैं।
Reportedly, the BCB wants the Pakistan Cricket Board to link the Bangladesh team tour with the Pakistan players' participation in the Bangladesh Premier League, which commences in April 2013. Dave Richardson, the ICC CEO, had said that the PCB has a lot to do to encourage the teams to tour Pakistan. He said it's premature to say whether it's still safe to tour Pakistan or not.
The Bangladesh tour was part of the PCB's ongoing efforts to revive international cricket in Pakistan. Meanwhile, in a significant step towards strengthening bilateral relations with India, Bangladesh has welcomed the joint production of films with its neighbour India's eastern West Bengal state. This is a significant move because for several years, films produced in India were banned in Bangladesh to protect the local movie industry.
Bangladesh Information Minister Hassanul Haq Inu, while speaking at an event in India's eastern Kolkata city on December 21, 2012, said that cinema could play a pivotal role in removing boundaries between the two neighboring countries.
South Asia has many commonalities and many diversifications, but still then we can stand on the commonalities and accommodate diversities. That is how South Asia can move together in future. Here we had certain problems like anti-democratic, communal religious tendencies, autocratic tendencies, but whatever are the problems, film industry and culture can help us to integrate South Asia more closely, to build a harmonious South Asia, to build a harmonious society, and film industry and culture can help us for regional cooperation, regional harmony. So in that sense, this event organized by FICCI will have an effect in enhancing cooperation within the South Asian states. And we hope that we share common heritage, common culture, common history. So days of conflict are over.
Where the Bangladesh movies and the Bengali movies are quite same, but there are some problems, some lack or some pros and cons in there? What are the advantages and the disadvantages of this combination? Do you think?
Actually, from the cultural aspect, our actors, our directors are working in West Bengal. So also the Indian actresses and directors are working in our country. We have joint ventures also. But as you know, there are certain bureaucratic hassles and all these things. My government, Bangladesh government, is trying to sort out these hassles, and we are going to make this joint cooperation and flow of culture more smooth in near future.
Prominent Indian director-producer Mahesh Bhatt said that the need of the hour was to use political will and stitch together regions which were united culturally since a very long time.
As I mentioned in my speech, that if we either all of us make it together or none of us really does, at least the SAARC nations must do something which our predecessors have harped on repeatedly, which is the politics of cooperation, not the politics of confrontation. And I think in the second decade of the 21st century, we need to use our political will and stitch together regions which are united culturally since a very long time. I mean, the partition made this region poorer, but there is no reason that we can't let that wound ebb away from our memory and create a new beginning. And I think cinema is the route to reconnect, to stitch ourselves together to mutual advantage. And if India and Pakistan can resolve its cultural differences, look, the political level, the problems will continue, but Indian movies, after I showed my film Avarapan in 2007, are now regularly shown in Pakistan. So if that could happen with India and Pakistan, which has a far more fierce memory of feud, I don't think this is impossible between Bangladesh and especially India on the eastern side.
Bhatt has been a consistent advocate of joint productions between India and Bangladesh and has even used Bangladeshi singer and composer James in his movies. In 1963, the East Pakistan government had decided to import 19 Indian films and sell them to local producers.
Film enthusiasts in Bangladesh are keen on joint productions and easy viewership of Indian films. In other news, there's been widespread dismay in the country over the snail-paced trials of the accused of the 1971 Liberation War crimes. Mainly leaders of the biggest Islamic party, the Jamaat-e-Islami, have been accused of being hand in glove with the Pakistan army in the genocide, rape and slaughter of millions.
The ruling Awami League-led 14-party alliance took out processions in the capital Dhaka and different parts of the country recently, demanding speedy trial of the war criminals and protesting what it called BNP Jamaat's destructive activities to thwart it. The Jamaat-e-Islami, which is also the main partner of Khaleda Zia's Bangladesh Nationalist Party, has been demanding the acquittal of 9 of its leaders facing grave allegations of crime against humankind. 2 BNP leaders also face related charges.
Yes, of course. We are very happy with this process when it started, but it will be more useful if we have more court, more judges, more lawyer, and who are related with this process. There should be more other accessories and other things. And also it is important the security of the place, the court areas, and who are the witnesses and who are linked up with whole process of the trial. It is important. So I urge to the government to make sure all the things. Of course, these who are doing these things, we know them very well. Now the opposition party of Bangladesh, the Bangladesh Nationalist party, BNP, led by Begum Khaleda Zia, and she is making ally with this Jamaat Islami Bangladesh. The whole party is really the criminal. Whole party is accused for the war crime in 1971. Now they are their ally and they are making hartal and other things, the demonstration, everything against this trial process.
A war crimes tribunal, which was set up in 2010, requires wrapping up investigations of all those who were accused, as the government aims to finish their trial before Prime Minister Sheikh Hasina's 5-year term ends. She took charge of office in early 2009.
Pressure against war crimes trial in 1973 was almost unbearable, you see. And the amnesty that Bangabandhu granted, it had something to do with this. Because when he was being forced to give up the trial of the war criminals from outside, I think he thought that why should I simply punish the collaborators, and gave them a chance. But the collaborators did not take the chance rightly. They misused the gift which was given to them. And well, so now they have to pay the penance for it. And this is being paid. See, it will be paid. It's unfortunate that there has been some leakage about the proceedings and all that, but it does not vitiate the law. I think this law will go in its own course.
President of the Workers' Party of Bangladesh and Chairman of the Parliamentary Standing Committee on Ministry of Education, Rashid Khan Menon, lamented the fact that the trials were taking so much time. He also said that there were enormous pressure on the country from the world to make sure the trials are free and fair. Analysts and academicians have demanded that, like any other independent judiciary, the right to appeal should be there, but the appeal period should be cut short in order to expedite the whole process.
I think this is the most important step taken by this present government. Practically, it is a long desire of the nation that the war criminals of the 1971 should be punished. As you have said, that Bangabandhu Sheikh Mujibur Rahman started the process, but unfortunately after the changeover of 1975, after the gruesome murder of the father of the nation, the whole thing changed, and the then military ruler Ziaur Rahman practically stopped this whole process and released the war criminals and also brought them back to the country. So after this election of 2008, before the election of 2008, practically we promised to the nation, particularly to our new generation, that if we are elected, then this whole process will start again. And as you know that in the first session of the parliament, it was unanimously decided to start the war crime trial, and the government took a step. Though it took a long time, because it is a new thing for Bangladesh and it is an extremely difficult thing for Bangladesh. But still then, it is a most laudable thing that the present government has done, and people are very happy about it.
A former chief of the Jamaat-e-Islami and the nation's top Islamist leader, Ghulam Azam, is on trial for helping the Pakistani army during Bangladesh's 1971 War of Independence.
Many South Asia experts feel that the sudden spurt in articles in the Western media to downplay the impact of the 1971 genocide could have been instigated by those wanting to subvert the secular character of Bangladesh. That's all we have for you in this episode of Bangladesh Today. Thank you for watching.